Today we have Dr. Dar and Crystal Estep here with us to discuss the medical center, and I think we're going to talk mostly about flu shots, which they're going to try to push this year a little bit more, although we did a good job last year. So who wants to, Crystal, you want to tell us about the flu shots?
Sure. The flu shots are actually 3 weeks away, believe it or not. It's come around really fast. We do have our flu clinics set up already for this year, so I can give you a kind of a rundown, but it will be in everybody's cubbies and the Villager.
Oh,
I know last year, like we just discussed, it wasn't
well publicized.
Exactly, last year, and I had to apologize multiple times for that. But the first flu clinic we have is going to be Thursday, September 6th, and that's going to be in our Hunters Crossing conference room from 10:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. That is usually our biggest flu shot event because it's the first one. The second one will be Tuesday, September 11th from 12 to 3 p.m. in Village Square Akatink room. The third one is Monday, September 17th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and that is in our Town Center's card room. And then the last one that we have scheduled right now is Friday, September 21st, and that is 8 to 5 in the medical center. Now, Friday, September 21st is by appointment only. We will make we'll triple book, but that way we know who's coming in and we have the consent forms ready and all the shots drawn up so that it's an easy process. The reason I picked these rooms too is last year I seen a lot of residents having to stand in the halls, whereas with all these rooms there's seating outside of them. So we're kind of doing a lot of different rooms than last year.
Well, that's good. That's good thinking. Yeah, we had them in. I remember the cards room in Town Center is the general area for the ones in the Town Center area. So
exactly.
Well, just last year the flu shot, we still got flu in January, as I recall.
Yes.
The flu shot. How did it affect us if we still got flu?
I'll let Dr. Dar answer that one.
Okay.
Well, the flu virus has a potential to. There are different types of flu viruses, but there are mostly 3 or 4 major categories. And the way they make a vaccine is they identify the most common virus affecting during the last few years, and they generate a specific type of vaccine against those virus. It doesn't mean that once you have that vaccine, it will protect you from all type of flu viruses. There still will be some flu viruses outside the scope of vaccination, and they can affect you.
So the flu virus that affected us last year then had not been included in the vaccine, is that?
We don't have the way to prove that was the virus, but this is a possibility.
Yeah, okay.
And there is also a possibility that few patients did not get the vaccination. If you don't get the vaccination, then there is an increased chance of having a flu.
Yeah.
So we don't know. I can't give you the right information at this time whether if the patients who had flu last year were vaccinated or no.
But if we hadn't taken the vaccine last year, what would have happened?
Well, if you don't have the vaccine, then definitely the chances of getting flu is very high. And especially in old age population, because the immunity is very low, not taking the flu virus can expose you to the significant consequences, including hospitalization, increased morbidity, and mortality, which means that there is a risk of dying too.
Well, we had quite a long period of problems. The number of people infected as a percentage of the population really wasn't very high, was it? It was less than 10%. It was about 120 some or 140 people. Is that?
I think it was around 100 some.
That wasn't all the flu though. That was norovirus included.
That's
yes,
both of them.
That was both of them.
Well, how did this compare with the other Erickson communities? Do you know?
No, I have no information at this time, exact information.
Do you have some, Crystal?
Well, I do know that we've talked in our practice administration meetings amongst each other last year when that did happen, and actually we caught ours here at Green Spring in the nick of time. The spread at other campuses was way more extreme than ours. And I think that's with the CMAs keeping an eye out in our Garden Ridge Continuum Care Unit is where it started. And I think knowing the signs and symptoms and reporting that and being able to get it under control and in isolation right away really helped us out.
So Garden Ridge was able to control it much quicker than we were in the...
Yes.
Why was that?
I think it was caught right away, whereas independent living, we don't know of the first cases unless somebody actually tells us or comes in to see us.
And so you're contagious before you really know you have it, is that?
Yes, yes.
So that's an important part. And I guess also over in Garden Ridge, they are more isolated, and they're able to isolate people better than we are, is that?
Correct.
Yeah.
Garden Ridge is a controlled environment.
Yeah.
And independent living is not a controlled environment. The residents are free to move whenever and wherever they want to move. But once in the Garden Ridge, if the patient has some symptoms, because the controlled environment, we have more possibilities of checking the virus immediately and isolating the positive cases.
Actually, you can quarantine a room.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
yes.
Okay. Well, then it sounds to me like it's extremely important for us to get the flu shot. And if we don't get the flu shot and we get some of the strains of the flu this coming winter, we're likely to have a problem, major problem.
Yes.
But so it's very important for us all to get a flu shot.
It is.
And it doesn't hurt very much. Just a little sting.
Well, first of all, it doesn't hurt much. But even if it hurts, the pain you get when you are not vaccinated is far too much than getting a small. So it's better to tolerate this small amount of pain of vaccination.
Yeah, you're swapping 2 weeks of extreme misery for a little tingle.
And I will also add that because the vaccination is not immediately effective, it takes about 2 weeks to develop antibodies. So please don't wait till the last moment that there is no flu. Once you notice that there is a flu case, then you run for vaccination. It means that you are exposing yourself to the virus for 2 more weeks without any immunity. So immediately get the vaccination on the proper vaccination dates like next month. And that, I think, is going to protect all of us.
How long does it last? How long does it keep? Is it effective against getting
1 year.
1 year?
Almost, yes.
So that's why we have to take
one
it annually.
season, yes.
And also, frequently or not frequently, but sometimes you have to update the virus or the antivirus so that it's effective against new flu strains. Is that?
Yes. CDC is actively following up on this strains of viruses that are infecting, and they recommend that what type of viruses needs to be included against which the vaccination is required.
So the one we're getting is called the high dose?
Yes. There are multiple type of vaccination. One is nasal vaccination, which is a live virus, but 2017 and 18 CDC does not recommend to get that type of vaccination. They are recommending only injectable vaccination. Injectable vaccination are also trivalent, quadrivalent, and high potency. And we are using high potency, which has shown to be more effective in patients who are above 61 years of age. So we used this last year, and we are going to use the same thing this year. Yeah.
Well, let's hope it's very effective again this year.
Yes.
Well, how is our doctor situation? Do we have all of the doctors that we're supposed to have in the clinic?
We are not 100% over. We are still searching for one more doctor.
One more.
But other than that, we are, as far as the medical side is concerned, we are fairly well equipped.
Good.
And one of our mental health, expert retired last week after 18 years of service. So we are looking for some replacement also for that person.
Well, Crystal, from my point of view, the medical center up front operates much more efficiently than it did, say, 2 years ago, because now I go in, I am immediately spoken to, I get attention very quickly, and and that didn't always happen. So I'm told that you probably are the ones that we can attribute that to, that you've organized the upfront area of the medical center. Is that true?
Well, thank you for saying that. Although, you know, you build a village, and it takes multiple people. And when we first came, it was kind of a little bit of a mess and no organization. Yeah. The team we have is very, I can't even say it without getting choked up, just an amazing team. And I think a lot of it goes to talking to them to see how they would like to see it ran, because they're the ones that are up front doing it and making them part of the decision of how to do things. But they have come a long way, and I mean, I can even feel it. They're talk to everybody, it's welcoming. Once somebody hits that door, it's, hi, how are you, good morning. The phones are answered quickly. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference.
Well, for one, I appreciate it. So
well, thank you.
Thank you very much. And Dr. Dar, you're the director of the center now. So anything else that you would like to tell us about the medical center? We've got about 2 minutes.
Well, medical center is very active, and we have a very good team, including the physicians and non-physician part. And all of our team is working very hard, and they try to accommodate all type of patients within a specific time. But sometimes, you know, we have to prioritize the more sick patients. So if you are not seen immediately, it's actually good for you. It means that the doctor thinks that you are not so sick. So please don't get mad, but
I'm hurting terribly.
but feel happy, and you also think like this, that probably someone who is more sicker and need immediate attention is being seen. So you are doing some sacrifice to be seen next day or after a few days.
Well, that's encouraging. Do you have anything to tell us, Crystal, anymore?
Just as far as the medical center goes, we are fully staffed as far as clinical goes. We just hired another young gal that will be starting the 27th of August, and it took a while to get her. And she's got some good experience, and I think she'll fit right into the team. But it's been running smoothly, and I just thank the residents for doing their part as well, like bringing their new insurance cards in and calling for appointments instead of just walking in. I mean, it's a joint thing between the residents and the medical center. So.
And could you give us the schedule one more time for flu shots?
Yes, I can. The first one is September 6th, which is a Thursday, 10:30 to 2:30 p.m. in Hunter's Crossing Conference Room. The second one is a Tuesday, September 11th, 12 to 3, and that's in the Village Square Acatink Room. The third one, Monday, September 17th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Town Center Cards Room. And then Friday, September 21st, all day, 8 to 5 will be in the Medical Center, but that'll be by appointment only. So they want to call and make an appointments ahead of time. Once we hit the fourth one, we see how many residents that we have not gotten to for the flu shots, and then we will add a couple more as needed.
Well, thank you all very much for coming today and updating us. And I've learned something. I hope you all out there learned something too.